Hi, I'm Amy Beecham, Marketing and Communications Director for Krause Financial Services. Welcome to Industry Insights. In this series, we discuss news, updates, and important discussion topics that affect the elder law space. Working on hundreds of cases per month and working with attorneys from across the country, we see trends that impact this area of planning, and we want to share some of those insights with you today. Today, we are joined by our President and CEO, Dale Krause. With some recent news regarding Medicaid Compliant Annuity carriers leaving the industry, some attorneys may be concerned with what this means for their practice. In today's episode, Dale is going to share his experience with carriers entering into and leaving the Medicaid Compliant Annuity space and what the future of the industry looks like. Thanks for being here, Dale.
Thank you for having me.
So as I mentioned, we received news that a Medicaid Compliant Annuity carrier, National Guardian Life, is actually leaving the Medicaid Compliant Annuity space. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, about a month ago we received the same notice, so it caught us by surprise because NGL had been in the market about 5 years. We had their product available to us starting about 4 years ago. And so again, anytime a company leaves, it causes me concern.
Do you think anything regarding the current low interest rate environment had something to do with NGL wanting to leave the space?
Well, I think all insurance companies are worried about the interest rates, and they've been suppressed over the last few years, and they continue to be as long as they're trying to get this economy going, along with the fact that the pandemic and the fact that elder law attorneys could not meet with their clients, and a lot of clients were reluctant to go into facilities, really stifled the market. And I think as they saw their market share start to shrink, it was not the long-term view that they wanted, and so that all in itself caused them to leave the market.
Sure. Now, you've been in the industry for quite some time. Have you seen this before with other carriers?
Yes, I've seen a couple different carriers come in and then leave. And, a concern of mine is when I've been working with elder law attorneys for more than 30 years. And so when a company comes in, one of the primary concerns I have is, will they stay in? Because the last thing attorneys want to learn or their clients is that the product that we offered them is no longer available. Because, anytime a company leaves and a product disappears, clients always think the worst.
Right.
What's going on? Is my money safe? Whatever. But I did see a couple of insurance companies come in with great expectations, but because these products are sold state-specific, it's very difficult to have a product you can sell the same way. And like I said earlier, insurance companies really want to grow their market share, not have it shrink. And so if the product's not well received after it comes into the market and they don't continue to increase market share, normally they weigh that product against their other products, and whichever one is performing, the least, it's more likely than not he's not going to survive longevity, and they'll end it. And so I've seen that.
Okay. Now, do you think that rating for an insurance carrier has any indication as to whether or not they would remain in the MCA industry long term?
Well, I think most clients understand ratings. They always say, try to get an AM Best rating of A or better. And, that's just a basic indicator of financial strength of a company, its ability to pay claims and all of that. But if you really look at AM Best and you do a little investigative work regarding how they come up with these ratings, an insurance company has to offer a full array of products. In other words, most of the insurance companies we work with in the Medicaid Compliant Annuity market do not host all of the traditional products. So for many of them, it's impossible to get the highest rating.
Sure.
But AM Best rating is important. It's one of the things I look at. But I also look at a company's annual report, because if you look at their annual report, and all companies publish them, you'll look at it and it'll tell you how do they sit regarding their financial strength. And so AM Best rating, the annual report, and their longevity in the industry. I know Elko Mutual, I've been with them over 30 years. They've got a 70-year history in the market, and I've been with them over 30. But I know that if I want to get things done with them, they understand that elder law and the rules regarding Medicaid compliant annuities can change quickly. And because they understand that, unlike some of the bigger companies, everything takes too long to get through the system, they've been able to continue to maintain their market share and grow it over the years. So again, AM Best rating is important, but if you work with our firm, I'm going to look at a lot of other things besides just the AM Best rating.
Okay. So like you said, Elko was one of our top carriers. And what has overall your experience been with those smaller companies like Elko compared to the larger national companies that maybe offer other products as well?
Well, I think the companies like Nationwide and some of the other premier A-plus rated carriers, their terms for their products are much longer.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like the short side of the market. And when we look at our average term, because community spouses, when they purchase a Medicaid compliant annuity, are worried about having a potential payback to the state, they're going to look for a shorter term. And so your higher rated companies really want to stay in a market that's 5 years or longer.
Sure.
And we find that a lot of our sales are significantly less than that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it takes a company like Employees Life Company or Elko Mutual to really fill that void with a solid product that I know is going to be there in years to come. Because again, my experience with them has been over the last 30 years. And, again, if I could get everybody to do what Elko Mutual does, I would be delighted.
So it sounds like we do have definitely stable carriers that people can rely on. So with that in mind, should attorneys be concerned at all about the future of MCAs or about using MCAs in their practice?
No, I think if you come to us, Krause Financial Services, with my relationship to the insurance industry, one of my jobs is to build those relationships with companies that, I want to do business with. We get carriers coming to us from time to time wanting to come into the market, and I don't want to bring a company into the market unless I'm comfortable that they're going to remain there. And elder law attorneys and their clients want to know that if they're going to take their life savings and give it to an insurance company,
right,
that it's there in the future. And so one of the things I'll do is build those relationships and then try to maintain them. So we have a very strong relationship to each of the carriers that we currently represent.
Okay, great. And if attorney is new to working with us and they want to learn more about their Medicaid compliant annuity carrier options, what should they do?
Well, just give us a call. In every state, we have specific carriers that do a better job than others. Like, for example, the state of Washington has a rule that if you utilize a Medicaid compliant annuity, that if the life expectancy table reflects a term of 5 years or longer, you can go down to 5 years. If the life expectancy table is less than 5, then you have to follow the table. So we have specific carriers that we've aligned with that are better able to service those needs.
Okay.
Other clients, want cash commutation. I think it's an important feature that many companies don't offer, especially the higher rated carriers. Mm-hmm. And so when, say, a community spouse passes away and the next generation would like to get their hands on what's left in the annuity, the cash commutation option is something that a lot of families prefer. And so with your higher rated companies, we don't find that option available. But we look at every state, we look at our whole array of products because we have every Medicaid compliant annuity carrier that's out there. But we'll try to give the elder law attorney and the family the options that are available, and then we'll help them to pick the best one.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Dale. For more information on your Medicaid compliant annuity carrier options and how our office can help, contact us at 855-552-5893 to speak with our team. Thank you for watching.